Hello students, good morning everyone. Today we will start with chapter number 5, applications of sensors and transducer. So in the last video or in the last class we have seen that what is the meaning of sensors, what are the applications of sensors and transducer. So first of all, again I will repeat, sensor is a sensing element which can be contact any kind of the physical phenomenon. So once it will contact the physical phenomenon, what will happen? It will respond and it will provide the output. Okay, so transducer is a device which can be convert energy from one form into another form. So already we have discussed in the fourth chapter. So that is the types of transducer: primary, secondary. So again, mechanical, electrical. Okay, these are the major classifications of analog, digital. These are the major classifications of transducer. So again in that sensor, so we'll move on to the applications of sensor again. So first point in the fifth chapter, today we will discuss level. What is the definition of level? Need of level measurement. So then we'll move on to the detailed classifications of measurement. Okay, so first, what is the level? So level is a defined as vertical distance between, level is a defined as vertical distance between the surface of the liquid with some reference point. Means what? You can take one jug, fill the water, and you have to provide some reference point at the bottom of that tank or at the bottom of that jug. Mark that one some reference point and fill the water. So after that, once it will increase that liquid or a water, so we can take the distance between that reference of that bottom point as well as what upper point, how much water you can fill from that reference point to the upper point. So you can measure in a vertical way. So that is the distance between the surface of the liquid with some reference point, that is the level. Okay, so next, the need of level measurement. So first of all, in need of level measurement, in every industry or in almost all the industries, quantities of liquids such as water, chemicals, solvents, etc. are used in number of process. So means what? Each and every industry is required some quantities. So that quantity may be major things are, it may be water, it may be chemicals, or it may be solvents. So you can use for what? Some processes. Okay, so that is the quantities of liquids. So second point, the liquid level measurements are used to monitor as well as measure the quantity and the liquid contained in the tanks, containers are available. Means what? The liquid level measurements are used to monitor as well as measure the quantity the liquid contained in the tanks or container. So how much liquid contents are available in the tanks or containers. So you have to monitor or you have to measure. So that purpose you have to use for what? Second need of level of that measurement. So each and every industry is required to measure the or to record or to monitor. So how much liquid of that quantity is available in that container like tanks or etc. Okay. Third one, the liquid level affect both pressure and the rate of flow in and out of the container. Therefore, its measurement or control becomes very important. So each and every industry is required. There is some effect. So that may be pressure or that may be flow in and out. Whatever that liquid pressure, by using it may be flow or it may be in and out of that flow rate. So that purpose, so measurement and control becomes very important. So you can measure that flow rate as well as what? That pressure rate. Okay, so these are some major need of level measurements. So next we'll move on to the classifications of level measurement techniques. So first of all, this liquid level measurement is mainly classified into two types. First one is the direct method, second one is the indirect method. So in a direct method, again it is divided into four types. First one is the hook type, second one is the sight glass type, third one is the float type, fourth one is the dip stick type. So second main type is the indirect method. So again it is divided into three types. First one is the hydrostatic pressure, second one is the electrical pressure, third one is the radar type. So this electrical is again divided into three types: capacitance level indicator, radiation level indicator, ultrasonic level indicator. So in these classifications we will study main types are float type, then capacitance type, radiation level type, ultrasonics type, and if necessary we will discuss the radar type also. Okay, so next we'll move on to the one by one of that level measurement techniques types. So first one in that float type method, or it is a contact type method. So first one is the float type method or contact type method. So we will discuss the working principle. So what is the working principle of this float type method or contact type method? The working of float type is based on buoyancy effect. Based on buoyancy effect. So we will state this one first. Buoyancy effect means what? Statement. The buoyancy effect states that the floating body would always followed changing liquid level due to its buoyancy. So floating body always followed changing liquid level due to its buoyancy. Means what? The liquid level of that float should be increase or decrease depends on floating of that body. So whenever you take one container, so in that container you can fill the water and also you can insert that float. So once you are going to insert that float, so it may be increase or it may be decrease, so depends on that floating body. Okay, so whenever this float will be full or tight, what will happen? It may be increase or decrease, it may be loose or tight, it may be increase or decrease. So depends on float, it may be increase or decrease, the liquid level should be changing. So that is called as a buoyancy effect. So that is the working principle of float type method or contact type method. So next we'll move on to the construction and working of float type method. So what is that construction and working? So first of all, as shown in the figure, construction of the float type liquid level indicator, it consists of a float. Which may be cylindrical shape. The float is connected with counterweight through a flexible link tape with the help of pulley and sprocket wheel. So in the recent trends, you are not going to use here that sprocket wheel and pulley. So nowadays, in the older days, you are going to use pulley and sprocket. If you want to water, you have to place some float into that container or some any other parameters. If you need some water, you need some pulley and sprocket wheel. So by using that pulley and sprocket wheel, you can measure your liquid level changes in that buoyancy effect. So next point, the counterweight is keeps the tape tight as the liquid rises or falls. The tape loses with any changes in the liquid level. So once you are going to use that counterweight, it should be keeps the tape tight as the liquid rise or fall. The tape is placed over sprocket wheel to which a pointer is attached. As shown in the figure, that is you are having one pointer. So that pointer is attached with sprocket wheel. A calibrated scale is provided as shown in the figure also. Scale is also provided. Next point, any change in the liquid level causes the movement of tape. Any change in the liquid level you are having liquid and tank. Okay, so once it will change, it will causes the movement of tape. So this movement of tape is connected to sprocket wheel, and it will indicates the level on calibrated scale, that is the maximum or minimum of that level measurement. So how much water content of that tanker of that liquid level is available on, it may be maximum or it may be minimum. Means what? It may be highest or it may be lowest. Okay, so this is the construction and working of float type method. So next we'll move on to the advantages of this float type or contact type. So first one, low cost. Second one, continuous and direct measurement is possible. Next we'll move on to the disadvantages. Operation is limited to the medium pressure. Next one is the applications of float type. First, it is used in industries. Second one, used in control system. Third one, used in level indicator. So next type we'll move on to the capacitance level indicator. So first we'll discuss the working principle of capacitance level detector. The capacitance level detector operates on the equations of parallel plate, that is C is equal to epsilon A divided by D. So that is the where C is equal to capacitance value in farad, epsilon is the dielectric constant, A is the common area of the plate in meter square, D is the distance between two plates in meter. So this is the working principle or operating principle of capacitance level detector. Already you know in the physics parallel plate equation, C is equal to epsilon A divided by D. Next we'll move on to the construction and working. What is the construction and working? So as shown in the figure, diagram, figure shows the construction of capacitance level detector. It consists of two metal electrodes. Fixed with parallel to each other and act as a plates of capacitance. This system is used for conducting and non-conducting liquid level, which act as a dielectric material. If you want to use that dielectric material, it will act as a conducting or non-conducting. A capacitance measuring instrument is connected to the probe to measure the capacitance, and it is calibrated in terms of liquid level in the tank. A capacitance measuring instrument is connected to the probe to measure the capacitance, and it is calibrated in terms of liquid level in the tank. When the liquid level of the tank increases, the capacitance value also increases, and when the liquid level of the tank decreases, then capacitance value also decreases. So this is the main fundamental principle of this capacitance type. So whenever level of the tank increases, capacitance also increases. Level of the tank decreases, capacitance also decreases. This capacitance value is measured by capacitance measuring instrument and displayed an indicator calibrated in terms of liquid level. So this is the construction and working of capacitance level detector. So next we'll move on to the advantages. First one is the very high sensitivity. Second one is the continuous measurement and control is possible. Next, disadvantages: suitable for fluid which process proper dielectric quantities. Second one, its sensitivity is affected by change in temperature. Applications: it is used for conductive and non-conductive liquid level measurement with suitable capacitive method. So next we'll move on to the next type, ultrasonic level or gauge detector. What is the working principle of ultrasonic level gauge detector? It operates by generating an ultrasonic wave or pulse, measuring a time it takes for echo to return. Means what? It operates by generating an ultrasonic wave or pulse, measuring a time it takes for the echo to return. Means what? What is the meaning of This one means what? Take one bike. Okay, so you have to properly mention the routes of that source and destinations. So once you are going to that move to that source from, for example, Ichalkaji to Kolhapur. So whatever route you are going to identify that from Ichalkaji to Kolhapur, again you have to return back to the same path. So that Kolhapur to Ichalkaji. So that is the eco to return. Okay. So this is the one of the general example I am going to consider. Okay. So next we'll move on to the diagrammatic, that is the construction and working of ultrasonic level gauge or detector. What is that? So first point, as shown in the figure, construction of ultrasonic level gauge or detector. This gauge consists of ultrasonic transducer which has set of transmitter and receiver as shown in the figure. At the upper side you are having what? Transmitter and receiver. The transmitter and receiver are mounted on the top of the tank containing liquid whose level to be measured. The ultrasonic transmitter and receiver set is connected to the electronic processing circuit which is used to calculate time taken by ultrasonic wave to travel from transmitter to receiver. So it will calculate the time from transmitter to receiver. So how much time is taken from transmitter to receiver, it will calculate. The processing unit is powered by power supply as shown in the figure. The level indicator or detector is provided for direct reading of liquid level. The ultrasonic wave generated by the transmitter are directed towards the liquid surface in the tank which is to be measured. This wave gets reflected from the surface of the liquid are received by the receiver. The time taken by the wave is measured of the distance traveled by the wave. Therefore, time t between the transmitter and receiver wave is proportional to the distance, that is the d, as shown in the figure d, between the ultrasonic set and surface of liquid in the tank. So as the distance, that is the h, between the ultrasonic set and bottom of the tank is fixed. I am mentioning again, as the distance h between the ultrasonic set and bottom of the tank is fixed, time is measure of level L. So therefore we can write one equation, T is directly proportional to D, directly proportional to H minus L. So this is the construction and working of ultrasonic level gauge or detector. So next we'll move on to the advantages. What are the advantages? Non-contact type level measurement technique. It is a non-contact type because whatever that radiations are there, it is a very dangerous to the eyes. So that's why it is called as a non-contact type. No moving parts. Output is not affected by the density of the liquid. Disadvantages: instrument is expensive, high degree of skills are required or operations. So it requires some skills. So without the skills you cannot use this instrument. So that's why instrument is also expensive. Applications: it is used for hazardous liquids and solids. It is used for hazardous liquids and solids. Next we move on to the radiation level indicator or detector. So what is the operating principle? The gamma ray liquid level indicator is that the absorption of gamma rays varies with thickness of absorbing material. So depends on that height of liquid between the source and detector. So what is the meaning of this one? So if you want to measure the radiation level, you can use some rays. So that rays name is called as gamma ray liquid level indicator. So it will absorb the gamma rays. So whenever this absorb that gamma rays varies with respect to thickness of height of that liquid between the source and detector. So we'll discuss construction and working. So this is the diagrammatic representation of radiation level indicator or detector as shown in the figure. The construction of the gamma ray liquid level indicator or gauge as shown in the figure. The instrument consists of radioactive isotopes in the lead shielding, which may be ammonium or cobalt or radiation of the gamma rays. You can use some material ammonium or cobalt. The amount of radiated rays is controlled by shutter. So shutter means what? You can control whatever that high radiation is there. So just like its door, close the door, it will automatically off. So the gamma rays passes through the liquid towards the detector. The radiation detector is ionization chamber type. Ionization chamber means what? At the destination site. As the gamma rays passes through the liquid, so whenever your gamma rays enters the liquid area absorb the gamma rays. So once it will enter the liquid, this liquid area will absorb the gamma rays. So higher is the height of the liquid, higher is the absorption of the gamma rays, and lower is the detector output. Okay, so the output is measured and correlated with level of the liquid in the tank using some exponential type of the expression you are going to use. I is equal to I0 e raised to minus mu rho x. So what is that I? Intensity of the radiation falling on detector. I0 the intensity of the radiation at detector. Mu is the mass absorption coefficient. Rho is the mass density of test material, and x is the thickness of absorbing material. These are all the parameters you are going to measure by using radiation level indicator. So main thing is you can use the gamma rays. So in that gamma rays you are having some at the input side radioactive isotopes, and at the output side you are having what? Ionization chamber, that is the detector, source and detector. So detector, it will collect so remaining that gamma rays and send to the or collect to the chamber type. Okay, so next we move on to the advantages. What are the advantages of this radiation level indicator? First one, non-contact device, continuous measurement is possible. Disadvantages, shielding is required to protect or to limit the radiation. It is risky to use this method due to radiation effect. So name itself indicates that it is a radiation level. Applications. What is the applications? This level indicator covers the wide range of applications for recording a level of liquid as well as solid substance. Thank you. So next class we will discuss the pressure, types of pressure measurement, pressure units. Thank you.